Greetings, bookworms of Concord. Pastor Beckett here with a review of Dragon Age Tevinter Nights by various authors. There's a lot of authors, which tells you that this is a collection of novellas, but it's edited by Chris Bain, Patrick Weeks, who we should be familiar with from previous Dragon Age books, Matthew Goldman, and Christopher Morgan. These are the four editors, but there are various other authors throughout the anthology. So I found this collection of novellas really fun to read, and they add more flavor to the Dragon Age lore after the events of the video game Dragon Age Inquisition. And as the title suggests, Tevinter Nights, most of the tales take place in or neighboring the somewhat enigmatic kingdom of the Tevinter Imperium, which is the only region in all of Thedas where slavery is legal, where mages are free, and also an area that Dragon Age fans have yet to explore in the gaming franchise. Now, from the Kunari to Mortalitasi necromancers, to Grey Wardens, familiar characters, and even some NPCs from Dragon Age Inquisition taking on vital roles, the novellas are filled with stories of demons, strange darkspawn, and unheard of monsters. Now, in most of the stories, the pacing of the narratives seem a bit jarring. A lot of times I found myself thinking, wait, what just happened? And I had to reread what I just read because I'm not sure who did what, who's talking, or how they suddenly got into a new room or another area. I understand that short stories do need to pace a lot faster than novels, but I've read plenty of short stories where I was never confused about what was happening. I would have been fine if I only experienced this in one of the stories, but it happened more than once. There's also weird spelling errors besides the occasional typo, which I can overlook unless it's the Halo books where they're all over the place, at least the early Halo books. But anyway, for example, there's a character named Myrna, spelled M-Y-R-N-A. Right after she's introduced, her name is spelled M-Y-R-A, as Myra or Mira. So right after she's introduced, before returning to the correct spelling. Weird. But it happens again with other characters as well. And in the story, The Horror of Hormak is spelled in the title, I believe, H-O-R-M-A-K. I believe it just appears as that in the title. And then throughout the rest of the story, the place is spelled differently, as H-O-R-M-O-K. So which is it? In the latter case, there can be legitimate reasons for spelling differences based on the etymology of words in a given culture, and that happens in real life. But no reason is given. So it's most likely just oversight on the part of the editors. It just seems like there was lazy editing when it had 4 editors, but The Horror of Hormak is still one of my favorite stories in the book. It really does read like a horror story. So it's a nice kind of change of pace for, your basic fantasy novel, or in this case, novellas, to have a horror twist to the fantasy genre. But each story is nicely ambiguous about certain characters and events from the game, so as not to contradict specific choices that you, the gamer, have made in the game. My favorite thing about this anthology, though, is reading about normal people in the Dragon Age world reacting to the major events of the game, especially normal people being the NPCs. The non-playable characters. It makes the fantasy seem more real. The NPCs as people with feelings and goals instead of just mindless programs. And the main events actually impactful in the world of Thedas. So it was fun to read, and it has me excited for the next installment in the Dragon Age gaming franchise, Dreadwolf. So there are a lot of implications for that next Dragon Age game in these novellas. So if you want to get pumped for the next Dragon Age game, Dreadwolf, or some more lore flavor after Dragon Age Inquisition, go ahead, pick up this anthology and give it a read. It was pretty fun. So I give it 4.5 stars just because of that ineptitude of 4 editors of not finding these obvious errors. But that's all from me for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Click the bell to get those notifications of when new videos are released. In the meantime, God bless your reading.